Hello and welcome back to Math Class with Mrs. Hauk. I missed you guys all on Friday. I hope you all were able to take your STAR math test for your teachers. If you weren't, go ahead and reach out to your teachers and ask them what it is maybe that you need to do so you can get that finished for them. If you recall, on Thursday we were talking about absolute value, and I gave you an assignment on the page that you see in front of you. It's S45 lesson 11, and I want to go over the answers real quick so that we can move on to our lesson. If you remember, absolute value means how far a number is away from zero. Number 11 says, which of the following situations can be represented by the absolute value of 10? Well, the absolute value of 10, we know, is the answer 10. So we want to see which one of these answers here equals 10. The first one says the temperature is 10 degrees below zero. Express this as an integer. Well, if I express that as an integer, because it says below, that would be the answer negative 10. That's not 10. Determine the size of Harold's debt if he owes $10. Well, if I would ask you, how much does he owe? You would say $10. That's 10. Determine how far negative 10 is from zero on the number line. If I would ask you, how far is negative 10 from zero on the number line? You would say 10. 10 degrees is how many degrees above zero? Well, 10 degrees is 10 degrees above zero. So if you recall, I told you there were 3 correct answers. Those are 3. Number 12, I hope you found out that the answer is incorrect. Julia used absolute value to find the distance between 0 and 6 on a number line. She then wrote a similar statement to represent the distance between 0 and negative 6. Below is her work. This here is true. This is not true. Absolute value will never be 6. She should have put absolute value of negative 6 is positive 6. Okay. Number 13, use the absolute value to represent the amount in dollars of a $235.25 profit. Well, it says absolute value, so that means I get to put my absolute value lines. $238.25. The absolute value of that would be 238 and 25 hundredths. Okay, let's look at number 14. Judy lost 15 pounds. Use absolute value to represent the number of pounds Judy lost. Absolute value means, I put my absolute value lines, lost $15 would be a negative. How far is negative 15 from zero? It is 15 places away from zero. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move over to lesson 12 today. Okay, so we're going to jump over to lesson number 12. We're going to continue talking about absolute value a little bit and the order that we can put them in. If you will notice, on lesson 12, I have 10 integers written. Would you please pause your video and write those 10 integers up here on the top? Actually, you can write them here so that you can cross them off as you do it, but I'd like for you to record them in order from least to greatest. So, like I said, you're going to need to pause your video so that you have time to do that. We're going to start from least to greatest. All right, so those of you that didn't pause and need help with this, let's go ahead. Negative numbers are the smallest numbers I have. It looks like the negative number that I have that's going to be the least is negative 12. So I'm going to put negative 12 way over here. Cross it out. My negative, I had negative 5, negative 9. Looks like negative 9 is next. After that, looks like I have negative 5, negative 2, negative 1. Then I go to 0. Looks like after 0 is 2. And then it looks like 5, and 7, and 8. Okay, so this is how I would find the integers on a number line. Here would be my 0. Okay, if I had my number line right here, my 0 would be here. Positive numbers going to the right, negative numbers going to the left. Remember, the farther away from 0 to the left, the smaller the number. That's why negative 12 is the smallest number. Okay, so now we're going to go down to example 1, and we have to write an inequality statement relating the ordered integers from the opening exercise, which is these numbers up here, and then below each integer, write its absolute value. So we need to make sure that we have enough room to write 2 rows of numbers. Remember, an inequality is our alligator mouth. So I'm going to say, since I know I already have them in order from least to greatest, negative 12 is less than negative 9. Negative 9 is less than negative 5. Negative 5 is less than negative 2. Negative 2 is less than negative 1. Oops. Negative 1 is less than 0. 0 is less than 2. 2 is less than 5. 5 is less than 7, and 7 is less than 8. So I have a gigantic inequality statement, but I could always look at two pieces or two integers at a time if I wanted to by saying 7 is less than 8, 5 is less than 7. So I have a gigantic inequality statement. The directions it then says is to write each integer or write its absolute value. Remember, absolute value is how far a number is away from 0. So, for example, on a number line, how far would negative 12 be from 0? Well, it would be 12 places away, so it's 12. How far is negative 9 from 0? Well, it's 9 places away. Negative 5 would be 5 places away. How far is negative 2? It's 2 places away from 0. Negative 1 is how far away? 1. How far is 0 away from 0? It's not. It's 0. 2, it'd be 2 to the right. Positive 5 is 5 places away from 0. Positive 7 is 7 places away from 0. And 8 would be 8 places away from 0 on a number line. Remember, absolute value always will be positive. So you see now I have all positive integers underneath my inequality. So now what I would like for you to do is I'd like for you to look at this new row of integers that we wrote, and I would like for you to circle the absolute values that are increasing numerical order. So increasing means it's getting larger and they're in order. Going from 12 to 9 to 5 to 2 to 1, that's not a numerical order, that's going backwards. But if I notice, these numbers are going in order on a number line. I'm skipping some, but they are in order. So I'm going to circle that 0, 2, 5, and 7 are in order. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I am going in order. I don't count by saying 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We don't count backwards. We count forward. So this is why I'm having you circle those integers. So if you notice that our positive numbers are in order from least to greatest along with their absolute value. They are still in order. But if you look at our negative numbers, let's go ahead and rewrite our negative integers right down here. So we're going to write negative 12, negative 9, negative 5, negative 2, and negative 1. Okay, so let's write our negative integers. These are negative, okay? So that's why they are different from our ones on the right side of 0 because those are positive. Okay, so it says, how are they different? They're negatives. Well, now it says we are going to rewrite the negative integers in ascending order and their absolute values in ascending order below them. Ascending, okay, ascending order. So now we need to figure out what ascending means. Well, if decrease means to get smaller, ascending means to go up higher. So we're going to be going up like you're ascending up. Okay, so this means to go up. That's what ascending means. So it says rewrite the negative integers in ascending order and their absolute values in the ascending order below them. So once again, let's see, what's the absolute value of negative 12? The absolute value, how far is negative 12 away from 0? It's 12 places. How far is negative 9 away from 0? It's in 9 places away. Negative 5 is 5 places away from 0. Negative 2 is 2 places away. And negative 1 is 1 place away. So now I have the absolute values of my negative integers, but now it says I need to put them in an order like we're counting up. This is not counting up, this is counting down. So I need to reverse the order. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now I have my absolute values going in what we call ascending order. We're going from least to greatest. On the bottom, it says, describe how the order of the absolute values compares to the order of the negative integers. Well, you will notice that the orders of the negative numbers and their absolute values was opposite. I had to turn it around opposite so that it could count up from the lowest number to the greatest number. So go ahead and pause your video and we can write our statement. So I have here that the orders of negative integers and their absolute values are opposite. So from negative 12 to positive 12, we have an opposite order. Pause your screen so you can get this written down, please. Okay, so we're going to summarize here one more time. Remember, up here we had the positive numbers and their absolute values. And if you notice, the positive numbers and their absolute values are exactly the same order. However, when we looked at the negative integers and we had to take their absolute values and put them in order, we had to change it to the opposite order. Okay, so once you have this written down, you may turn over to the next page. Okay, so let's do a little review here real quick. I have up here a graph kind of in the number line. I'm going to use this yellow highlighter right here to show what 0 represents. Here is 0. So if I would ask you, how far is 1 away from 0? Well, you will notice that 1 is 1 spot away, but you will notice down here that negative 1 is 1 space away. So negative 1 and positive 1 are both have an absolute value of 1 space away from 0. Let's look at positive 2. Well, if I would stay on this number line here, how far is positive 2 away from 0? It's 2 places. Well, how far is negative 2 away? It is also 2 places away. Okay, let's look at 3. Well, if I look at the positive number 3, here's 3. How far is 3 away from 0? It is 1, 2, 3 places. Here's negative 3. How far away is it? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so negative 3 and positive 3 are both 3 places away from 0. Let's look at 4. Here's positive 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 places away from 0. Here's negative 4. It is also 4 places away from 0. So I'm just kind of giving you a visual to make sure you understand what absolute value is. Positive 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places away, and negative 5 is also 5 places away. So let's go down here and do our fill in the blank here. It says, as you approach 0 from the left on the number line. So if I start over here and I'm approaching 0, going this direction, you will notice that my numbers are getting bigger. So we're going to say increase. As you approach 0 from the left on the number line, the integers increase, but the absolute values of those integers, so negative 5, remember, is 5 places away. Negative 4 is 4 places away. Negative 3 is 3 places away. Negative 2 is 2 places away. And negative 1 is 1 place. Now, if you notice, here's their absolute values. Are these numbers increasing? No, these numbers are decreasing. But the absolute values of those integers decrease. This means that the order of negative integers is opposite the order of their absolute values. Okay, so what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to look at these rational numbers that you see listed here. Let's count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, they're kind of difficult. What I might do if I was you is why don't you go ahead and let's kind of box these up so that we can make sure we see them all. They have them awfully close together, which I don't like, and I don't want you to miss a number. So go ahead and put boxes around them to make sure we know. Okay, you can always go back and look at this again to make sure you have all 12. What I'd like for you to do before tomorrow's lesson is I'd like for you to take these numbers and basically write them in one of these first 2 circles. I want you to put all the negative numbers on this side and the positive numbers on that side. Okay, that's, so for example, 2.1 is going to be positive, so we're going to put that over in this circle. Negative 4.5 is negative, so we're going to put it in that circle. Okay, after you put these numbers in these two circles, what I would like for you to do then is I would like for you to do the bottom circles, and the bottom circles are going to ask for the absolute value. So you're going to look at all the numbers you put in this circle here, and you're going to write their absolute value. So for example, the first one I have right now is negative 4.5. How far is negative 4.5 away from 0? Well, it's 4.5 places away. So I'm going to put that. 2.1 is how far away from 0? Well, it's 2.1. So remember, your absolute values are always going to be positive. Okay, so I've already done 2 of the rational numbers for you. You need to do the other 10. Do the top circles first. Then you can go down and write their absolute values there, and we will continue our lesson tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great Monday.